It's Mike. I'm back, and we're gonna do some Krishna stuff. Let's see what's going on here. We got hey, we got Dahlia. Hey, how you doing? We got Dan. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mike. I'm gonna try and catch the one you give updates possible. Hey, um, great. I want to hear. I want to hear all about the updates. Uh, I hope everything's going well. I hope everything's going well with you. Sorry, I'm a little late today, but and let's see, we got Natasha. Looking forward to the podcast. Natasha, great. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad everybody's here. We got fake human. A fake human running after that kiwi. That's awesome. Um, Howard Johnson. Hey, and we got Tim. All right, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. And then all you new people who are watching, Hare Krishna devotees, and then other people who aren't devotees. Welcome to today's show. I got a lot of stuff I want to get to, so I'm going to start right off with the opening, and then we're going to get right to this. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Hello?
Hello.
Wow, I love that opening, and I love that wheel. I'm so proud of myself that I was able to do that. I just love that. So let's see, what do we get? We got Joe Lynn. Hey, how you doing? Glad to see you're here, Joe. And a fake human calling 911. Absolutely. And then we got Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Great to see you here. I hope Rafal. I hope Rafal can make it today, because I got. Here you go. Rafal has sent me a bunch of stuff, and it's great. And I don't know if he's here yet. I don't know if Rafal is here, but he sent me some photos, and I wanted to share those. And I guess I'm going to wait, maybe share them when he's in class. But one thing I wanted to share with you all is Queen of Karma. Queen of Karma has gone and done another article, and I got to share it with you because she really did a great job. Let's see, here we go. So she did another great article, and it's you can see it's got the ISKCON label there. It's got the Hindu Om symbol, and it says Krishna cults and Western offshoots, a critical guide. And so she starts off and she says, over the course of our deep dives, we've explored the histories, belief systems, and controversies of some of the most intriguing and at times troubling modern spiritual movements. Now it's time to connect the dots between the three of them, the Krishna-centered movements, especially ISKCON and its offshoots, the light and sound mysticism of Kankar, and the guru-centric teachings of Master Path. So, and it's not just those three. I mean, those are she's kind of got them in those three categories. But there's many more. But I love how she's connecting the dots here with this, and she says while they differ in theology, they share structural DNA, charismatic leaders, exclusive truth claims, and the potential for high control group dynamics. And then she even has from bhakti to global controversy. And then she gives a little thing about the Krishna tradition. The only really criticism I have of this, and it's not really constructive criticism, is that she has here, I guess she got this from, I don't know, Wikipedia or something, and she has it down where it says, Gaudiya Vaishnavism emerged in the 16th century Bengal under saints like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who preached ecstatic devotion to Lord Krishna. In 1966, A.C. Bhaktivedanta brought this tradition to the West, founding the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The early years were marked by rapid growth, joyful public chanting, and communal living. And then it just jumps to, but after Prabhupada's death in 1977, ISKCON adopted the zonal Acharya system, granting near absolute authority to 11 senior disciples. This shift, blah, blah, blah. Not blah, 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 but it goes on. So that to me, what it should say, my only criticism is you should say, the early years were marked by rapid growth, joyful public chanting, communal living, and controversy. A lot of these controversies were started when Prabhupada was here. It wasn't after his death. There was controversies with his statements about women and his sexism. There were controversies about chanting in the airports and the book distribution on the streets. That was all controversial when Prabhupada was here. The Robin George case was during Prabhupada's time. The child abuse was during Prabhupada's time. Kirtananda and his craziness in New Vrindavan was during Prabhupada's time. So that's my only thing. But other than that, this is great. So I don't want to seem like I'm criticizing her at all, because this is really awesome. But it's just that one little thing where it says, but after Prabhupada's death. So it kind of makes it sound like, everything was okay before. But it goes on in the 80s and 90s. It even she mentions the abuse, scandals, child abuse, sexual abuse, Gurukula, boarding schools. By the 80s and 90s, schisms fracture the movement. So she goes on, and she just goes on with it, and then she kind of connects it with these other cults, which is really interesting. Anyone who wants to know more about that, you can go ahead and look that up. Read this article; it's really interesting. And she says here, on the surface, Krishna cults, Ekankar, and Master Path seem worlds apart. One rooted in Hindu devotion, the others in esoteric mysticism. But dig deeper, and the parallels are hard to miss, which she's right on the money with that. Each is built around a charismatic leader whose authority is framed as divinely ordained. Each claims to offer the most direct or exclusive path to God realization. Each wraps its teachings in esoteric language and promises access to hidden spiritual truths. And in their more compelling expressions, each has been accused of isolating members from outside influences, discouraging critical inquiry, and framing dissent as spiritual failure. So it's great that she did this article because, like I said, it's connecting ISKCON to these cults, and ISKCON needs to be connected to these cults. They shouldn't get the free pass that they've been getting. So hooray to this! This is great. This is a great job for her again. Great job for her. So let's see. We got Rafael. Hey, Rafael, you're here. Great to see you. Great to see you here. Let me go back to whoops, wrong button. Go back to the real world. Yeah, great to see you here, man. Hey, Aleem, great to see you here, man. I'm glad everybody's here. Um, hey, hey, Pos, great to see you. I know you got some updates, um, and I'm great. Everybody's here to hear. Uh, so it's, I'm like a support group. We're like a great support group for you and your family. Um, Thanks to Queen of Karma for exposing this fraud of a cult brought to the West by a pedophile, egotistical monster who pretended to be God and fake women hating doctrines and human abusing rules. Well put. Uh, well put. And it needs to be, and that's the kind of language that really it needs to be. It needs to be. It needs to be in that kind of language that's simple and to the point. That anyone can understand. This is what's really going on. Um, Prabhupada was the culprit and main master of all these crimes. He will not be left off the hook anymore. Time to expose him. Yeah, he's and that's really the thing with the Ritvik movement is it's basically just they want to get Prabhupada off the hook for everything because Prabhupada is ultimately responsible for everything. He created these gurus. He created everything. He created the letters, the July 9th, everything. He created everything. And he taught it to them. He taught them how to be, a-holes. He taught them how to run a temple the way he did, to be mean and nasty, and, fake humble and fake humility and how to sit there. He taught them everything. I mean, if you watch these guys, they act just like Prabhupada. And the more they can act like him, the more popular they are. And it's it's just a big scam, and he's the one who's responsible for it. So the whole Ritvik thing is basically just letting Prabhupada off the hook and saying that Prabhupada was the perfect one, and all these gurus were bad, and they weren't qualified, and they were this and they were that, and they did this and they did that. Well, who put them there? Who picked these guys? How can you let Prabhupada? How can you say these guys are all bad, which they are? How can you say they're all bad and they're not qualified and they were never appointed and they were never this, never that, and they are they're to blame. Well, who put them in charge? Who handpicked them? Who gave them their names and told them and taught them everything? Who created? Who gave them their name? Who named them? Tamal Krishna and Jayapataka and Ramesh. Who's responsible for that? How come he couldn't see? Prabhupada Prabhupada's directly talking to Krishna. Krishna's dictating these books, but he didn't tell him, hey, watch out for this guy and that guy. Watch out for Bhavananda and Kirtana. Hey, these guys are going to mess up the schools. These guys are going to rape a bunch of kids. Krishna didn't tell him any of that. Krishna was preoccupied with I don't know, something else. Worry about these kids getting molested and these gurus screwing up. That's a bunch of bullshit. Prabhupada didn't put the whammy on these guys and turn them into swamis. He didn't do anything. It was a scam from the get-go. You didn't tell me these guys were swamis. These guys were anywhere near an actual Hindu sannyasi. 6 months of chanting on their beads and following their 4 regulative principles, all of a sudden these guys are like ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Prabhupada's godbrothers were correct. He had no business coming to America and trying to turn these hippies into swamis and gurus and whatever he was trying to do. He had no business doing that. Look what he did. He created a friggin' criminal organization. He created Retards Are Us, Mental Incorporated. It's exactly what he did. Founder Acharya of Retards Are Us. CEO of Mental Incorporated. That's what Prabhupada was. Trey, how you doing? My favorite class ever at People. Yeah, it's great that we're all together. I mean, we've all been through through so much, and we're all here together, and it's like it's great. It really is. Let's see what happened. We had a family trip with my brother and a bunch of other people. I picked him up from Gita Nagari, and we knew things were worse immediately. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah. So Gita Nagari is this farm place in like Pennsylvania or something, or I think it's in Pennsylvania, and shit happened there. Like that's just another place where shit happened. He created this criminal factory cult. Yeah, he did. He created. He's the architect of the whole thing, and it's still damaging people and families like Paz. His brother is stuck in this Gita Nagari place, this scam farm community place run by Satsvarup, and now I guess Dave Amrita or somebody's running it because Satsvarup is like, ooh, cuckoo. And so Dave Amrita, I guess, is running it or whatever. He's another scammer guy. You know, and what's he got to say now? So he picked him up, and we knew things were worse immediately. I don't know how things can get any worse. If he's living at Gita Nagari, and he's working for Dave Amrita Swami, and he's initiated, I don't know how it can get any worse. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. For you, it's like, oh my goodness, it's getting worse. But I you know. He was very awkward and reserved. He was very awkward and reserved. We drove for 2 hours to get back to the resort, and he spent the whole car trip talking to Krishna people on the phone and texting them. Yeah, because he's brainwashed. He's brainwashed. He's brainwashed that if he's around you guys, it's... So he's got to be like, I got to be, and this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit. If chanting Hare Krishna was so strong and so powerful, and the holy name this and the holy name that, and Lord Chaitanya and this and that, coming from the spiritual world, and it burns off, every time you chant, it burns off karma and all this other crap. Why can't he just go for a drive? Why can't he just turn off the Krishna stuff? He can't. I went to work. I went to an 8-hour-a-day job and answered the phone. Hello, Mike. This is Mike at American Express. How can I help you? 8 hours a day. And I was still a Hare Krishna. I was still chanting, following regular principles. Is like just as good as anybody else. Going to the temple, going to the festivals, doing this, doing that, doing that. I didn't have to like live in the temple. This is brainwashing. And I know we all know. We all know. He's got to stay they got him. Like I said, like I said at the very, very beginning, they got him. But this is, for you, I can see how it's like, oh, it's getting worse and worse. I totally get it. I totally get it. I just, the good news is that by the end of our trip, he was a lot more extroverted and seemed like he was getting closer to his old self. But whatever is going on there seems to be making things worse. Yeah, because well, what's going on there is it's like he's like living in the temple, and he's just immersed in this. He's just immersed in this brainwashing. He's immersed in it, just like when he was in India. It's a cult, so yeah, it's sad. I wish there was some magic thing that could wake him up. I wish he'd come in here. I think he has been in here. I think he has been in here but I don't. What do I know? Um, hey, Queen of Karma, speak of the Queen, and she appears right here. That's great. Good to see you. You did another great article. I was mentioning what a great job you did on this article. Um, One small criticism, but I'm not going to go over that now. But I think we're all really excited that you did this. How you tied everything together with the gurus and everything. It's just great. I'm so excited that you took the time to do this. It's really great. So hats off to you for that. You think the CIA sent them in, and you think the CIA sent them in, and no, I don't think the CIA wastes their time with. I think the CIA's got better things to do. Um, these people are all power hungry grifters, in my eyes. They are. They are. It's they learned to trade. They learned to trade, just like just like these multi-level marketing cults, kind of, where you go in and they teach you how to go and sell vacuum cleaners or sell flowers or knives or whatever, right? And people people can get good at it, where they're making a little money. Maybe they got a team, they move up a little bit, just they move up just enough to where they got it. They understand the game. They got it, how it's doing. They're not making bank, but they it's a job. Now it's just a job. It's a job. They're making a regular. They're used to it. They're never going to get rich at it. They're just going to stay right right at that, like just barely making it. But it's like any other job, where people are just barely making it. They live paycheck to paycheck. I worked one of those jobs, and I saw how those people live, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So these gurus are just like, they're just a little bit higher up in the pyramid, to where they're actually like flying around and going on vacation and swimming in the river and playing guru whatever, like uh yeah, look what he did. So Port Royal, Pennsylvania, is that Gita Nagari? I think this is the Indian version of Scientology. Yes, that's what I said. It's Scientology is Hare Krishna for nerds, um or Hare Krishna is Scientology for spiritual people. Um, yeah, I'm really sorry too, because he found my videos right after his brother joined, and he came to me and was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh man, I don't know what to tell you, man." Uh, so yeah, it's really this one devotee, Rasika. Eliana, great to see you here. I'm glad you're here, man. We got everybody here. I heard from one devotee, Rasika Coburn, that she would rather trim pot and badger than work at Walmart since they are okay breaking their own rules. Yet she's the singer and public influence. I know that you bring up a good point because that's exactly what a lot of these Hare Krishnas that I found, that the ones that I knew, the old timers, they would rather participate in some scam like selling water filters or driving a taxi, or driving a taxi is not a scam, but they'd rather just drive a taxi or do some kind of almost shady business rather than just get a regular job, because getting a regular job that's karmi. That's what karmis do. There's so many Hare Krishnas I met at the LA temple that were all into some kind of scam or some kind of uh, scheme, some kind of scheme, rather than just invest your time in a regular job or a regular career. It's What's the criticism? I want to learn. If you want to tell me on here, email me. Well, I said it. I went through it earlier. I'll tell you real quick. I'll tell you real quick. It's not a big deal. So you said here, there's this one place where you said, it's this sentence here. You said, the early years were marked by rapid growth, joyful public chanting, and communal living. And then you just jump to, but after Prabhupada's death in 1977, and you go into what happened after he died. So all I was saying was, I would have put, the early years were marked by rapid growth, joyful public chanting, communal living, and controversies. And then I would have named some of the controversies that existed while Prabhupada was still alive. This sounds like it went to shit after he died, and that's not really true. That's kind of what they want you to think, that like once, but that's not true. But anyway, that's just a slight little tiny technicality that's not even. I even feel like I'm nitpicking, but that's basically that's basically it. Other than that, this is an awesome job, and I'm glad you tied everything together, because it does. It needs to be. You did a good job tying everything together. Okay, let me see. What does it say? It says his clothes were dirty, and he didn't seem to be taking care of his appearance at all. It was very troubling to our family to see him looking almost like a homeless person. Yeah, it is troubling. It is troubling, and I think if he's okay. So look, if he's living at Gita Nagari, which is like a farm, it's like a temple. There's a temple there, but it's also like a farm community. So he's probably living in the ashram. He's probably living in the ashram. So he only gets like maybe two doties. He's it's a cult, so he only gets like maybe two doties. He doesn't really get any. I don't know if he gets any money. Maybe they got him working, but I don't know if they're giving him like an allowance for him to buy a razor so he can shave, and maybe some deodorant. Maybe he can buy some underwear and some socks. So he probably doesn't get to laundry day, or money for laundry. Um, he's got to wash his own clothes, maybe. So yeah, he's almost like a home. He's living if he's living in the ashram on a farm on a farm. Then I would imagine he's. It's not. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm glad you're here, because people that don't know what we're talking about, that are watching, and maybe some Hare Krishnas that are in it, but they don't know what they're in. They don't realize what they're in. Seeing what you're saying, for you, it's like we've never seen him look like this before, and it's I'm really sorry to hear. Um, yeah, I hope he leaves too. We all hope. Yeah, it's so hard, and it's difficult for family members and friends. Yes, it is, and that's what I was saying. That's the same thing I was saying. Queen of Karma is try to stay in contact with him, um, and try to be that lifeline for him, so that when he does want to bounce out, he can come. He can feel welcome, and he doesn't feel like he's not welcome, because there's gonna be a time when he probably gonna be a time. So anyway, let me use this time, uh, since Paz is here. Paz, uh, he even took a day from the trip to go back to Gitanagari for a festival. He couldn't even miss one festival, even though he goes to all of them. Yeah, I know. We all know how that is. Yeah, absolutely. Because a festival. Okay, so they're doing the Hare Krishna stuff, right? So they're getting up early in the morning, and they're chanting all the time, and then they're doing their books, they're selling books, or doing their job on the farm, whatever it is, they're doing their farm, and then they're studying and doing it. It's not a lot of fun, right? Compared to like what we have on the outside. Like, we're always looking to have fun. Go to a movie, go do this, go bowling, whatever it is. We're enjoying ourselves. We want to enjoy ourselves. So they're not really doing that. They're like all like in there reading a book, or discussing, or studying, or chanting, or worshiping, or praying, or whatever they're doing like that. So a festival is like that's their fun. That's their fun. So that's when they get to sing, and that's when they get to do extra singing and dancing, extra chanting, and they get to see each other and party and eat and socialize, and it's a festive, it's a festival. There's like it's like family reunion type thing. They get to see your friends, and everybody's there, and they get extra preaching, extra all that stuff. So that's why festival is so important. That's why he wanted to go back. He didn't want to miss that. He didn't care about being with you guys. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. I don't mean it to be. I don't mean it to be a shock or anything, but he could care less about hanging out with you. There was a festival going on. Oh, I gotta. There's prasadam. There's gonna be prasadam. There's gonna be big kirtan. There'll be swamis coming from out of town. Swamis from out of town are coming. There's gonna be a big party. There's Guru Palooza. There's Guru Palooza, man. I can't miss that. I can't miss that. I can't miss that. So yeah, I totally I totally get it. I totally get it. They're obsessed with those festivals, the cosplaying. See, that's when they get to really cosplay. They get to dress up in their finest of their finest clothes, and the women get to put on all the gopi dots and all the knots, and do their hair all pretty, put on their most pretty sari, most colorful, pretty sari. Guys put on their clean pressed dhoti and kurta with their little thing over their shoulder. And you put your tilak on all straight and nice. Make sure it's all clean and perfect. Shave your head all nice. Make sure it's all freshly cut hair. Go to the festival looking all sporty, man. That's man. I don't want to miss that. Even though they have one every friggin' month or whatever they do, you know. It seems like they're working him ragged at the New York City temple. He was at Nagri as a vacation, but I asked him how could you take a vacation if you don't have a job? They don't pay you. Wow. So yeah, there's no vacation. I mean, the festival is the vacation. I don't know. I guess I misunderstood because I thought last time, months ago, you said he was at Gita Nagari doing some work for Deva Amrita or something. So I guess I misunderstood you. Multi-level scamming, multi-level guru. The ones who act like they have a life balanced, they live a balanced life and can manage the fake renunciation scam. They all commit crimes to make money because you need money in life. Well, you know, yeah, most of them, they're all doing something. They're all doing something, and I don't know. You know, I would imagine some of them are committing crimes because a lot of them have been busted committing crimes. So I would imagine, you know, things don't change. So I would imagine that some of them are still committing crimes. But just the idea that they're scamming these people, like this swimmer guy, collecting money so he can go swim. He's collecting money so he can go swim. And he's not ashamed to say it. Hey, he makes a video and says, hey, I want to go swim in the river in London, and I need money. Send me some donations so I can go swim because, you know, if I go swim in this river, then I'm going to print these books. Somehow, my swimming in the river is going to make these books get printed. Now, I don't know what kind of scam he's pulling. To make that happen. But I've never heard of you know, you go and you swim in the river and somehow books are printed. You still got to pay for the books. So you got to pay for your swimming and your wetsuit and your airline tickets and all your hotel and all. You got to pay for all of that. And you still got to pay for the books. Unless it's all just a scam, which makes sense because then you can just get the money, go swim, and fuck the books. I don't know. You can just tell people, hey, I didn't get enough money to print the book. It doesn't make sense. Make a video and show us all the books that you printed. Show us that video. Show us the video of you with all your books that you. Hey, remember when I went swimming and I asked you to give me all that money? Well, here's all the books that we. Where's that video at? When are those books going to be printed? And this other guy was going on a Guru Palooza to Rishikesh and asking people to send money for that. I mean, that might not be a crime, but sure is a scam. I mean, I can't explain it any other way than that. He's being honest. He's getting on YouTube and going, hey, I want to go to Rishikesh and I want a chingy ching and I want everybody to come and I want you to pay for it. So send me money so I can go. We got an ashram. We got to rent the ashram. We got to buy a ticket. We got to do all this stuff. He got no problem doing that. So he's being honest. He's saying, send me money. I'm going to spend it going to Rishikesh, having a great time. So it might not be illegal, but it's a scam. I mean, if that ain't a scam, I don't know what is, man. That's what we've been doing. I've not been critical of the group the way I could be because I don't want him to cut contact. But sometimes I feel like I should be straight up. Yeah, I told you. I told you before. I told you before that, he's already cut contact with you. I mean, I don't know how much worse it can get. I mean, you can even tell him. You can even say, "Look, there's nothing. There's nothing. You can always come back. We'll never cut you off. You might cut us off, but we'll never cut you off. And you can tell him how you feel. I think you're in a stupid, racist, sexist, pedophile cult. These gurus have a history of being pedophiles and murder and all kinds of shit. These guys are not gurus. These guys are criminals. And the stuff in these books is racist and sexist and homophobic. These guys are not saints or holy men. These guys are scammers. And you're still welcome to come back. I mean, I'm not holding it against you, but they're scamming you. They got you scammed. They got you scammed. And I don't hate you for it. I hate them for it. I hate them for what they're doing to you. But I don't hate you. I mean, because maybe that's what he needs to hear. Maybe he needs to hear how you really feel. That's why I get on here and I say it how it is. People come in here and they want to talk shit about it, and I'm like, hey, you're in a pedophile cult. These gurus are fucking full of shit. They murder people. They rape little boys and girls. I ain't pulling any punches. I ain't gonna be nice. What am I gonna be nice for? That's what people need to hear. They don't need to hear the, hey, well, you do your thing and, hey, to each his own. No, to each his own. Not when you're in a pedophile cult. Not when you're in a pedophile cult that teaches this stuff. You don't get a pass. You don't get no pass. Even though your name is Pass, you don't get a pass. That's the rhetoric to pretend things were better when Prabhupada was around. Yeah, they want you to think that somebody else is responsible for all this crap, not the cult leader that created the cult. Because they don't want you to think he is a cult leader. They want you to think that he is just some cool dude. Hey, yeah, I hope you understand. I'm totally not being critical at all. I'm just explaining. I'm just kind of explaining, because a lot of times it's hard to get. Sometimes it's hard to get the right information. Sometimes you think you got the right information, and but I could tell immediately as soon as I read that one sentence, I was like, that's. But yeah, hey, and you're the expert too. So we're in this together. So and I think that's great that you use me as a source, and really, no, you're doing a great job. You're doing an awesome job. So yeah, the ISKCON stuff. I read up on it a little bit about that guy. He started it like in the '60s or something, and he got it like from some Hindu type stuff. Anyway, I'm glad you're doing that though. I'm glad you're doing that because I've heard about that and I've known about that for a while, that it was a dangerous cult. Yeah, so Prabhupada was the main master of creating criminals. This one 13-year-old was directly ordered to marry and an adult by Prabhupada, and she said in one interview, "Do not let this Prabhupada off the hook." Yeah, she says it in the interview to the guy, and he's just like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, anyway." In other news, he didn't care. They don't care. They don't care. He did not give a shit when she was saying, well, Prabhupada said this and Prabhupada said that, and he knew, and there were other girls, and he was like, oh, really? Hmm. I'm I'm shocked. I'm shocked to hear that. Gee, hmm. But in other news, join me when we read Prabhupada's books. They wash their own clothes in the Jamuna River. Yeah, it's they bathe, wash, drink, all right out of the same right out of the same spot. Um, yeah, yeah. There's no like set way to do it. You just got to kind of feel it out. Everybody's different, like see, the thing is, you know your brother better than anyone, better than me. So I might say, well, it's like this, it's like that, or this is what I would say, or this is what he needs to be said. But him better, and you'd be like, no, I could never say that, or yeah, I need to say this or that. It's him better than anybody. We know the cult, and you know the person, so it's kind of you got to kind of figure it out. So instead of being critical, we ask questions. We try to help people come to the conclusion on their own. It's hard to do, though. Yeah, because the cult has got such a grasp on their mind. It's like a computer that's been taken over by a virus, and you're trying to recover your computer, but you can't because the virus has got it. And you're hitting this, and you're trying that, and you're trying to do this, and you can't do it because it's you can't it's hard. And I remember talking to some of my friends. They danced around. Like we would talk about God and religion, and I would talk about well, I'm a Hare, well, in Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this. I would immediately go into Krishna mode and start preaching and start being a Hare Krishna. And my friends would be, we would argue, and they just they couldn't handle that craziness, but they would just be really gentle. It would be like, oh, yeah, I don't know, They wouldn't sit there and go, hey, there's no demon head eating the moon. There's no four-headed guy growing out of a flower. They would never say that to me because they were my friends. They would be like, well, if you want to be a Hare Krishna, well, I don't know, it's not for me, but hey, if that's for you, to each his own. That's what. Hey, I'm not judgmental. I want you to, whatever makes you happy, whatever. No. What I needed to hear, I needed my friend to say, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know good and well there's no demon head eating the moon. And I would have went, well, you just can't see it. And then he needed to say, the fuck you mean I can't see it? I can see the moon. I can see there's no demon head. The fuck is wrong with you? That's what I needed to hear. But I never heard that. I never heard that. I had to come to my own conclusion. It took me 20 friggin' years. It took me 20 years. Because no one in my family, none of my friends, no one ever sat me down and said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Would you want to be 80 years old pushing a shopping cart full of books around a Costco parking lot? No one ever said that to me. That's the type of shit I needed to hear. Prabhupada, his entire group, Parampara, Narayan Maharaj, are all criminals and taught criminality. Prabhupada knew about the pedophile cases already happening, and he did nothing. He knew about it, and he did nothing. He knew about it and did nothing. I might have confused the issue because I didn't understand it first, but he lives in the New York City temple. He goes to Gita Nagari as a break from that. That's what he told me. Oh, okay. So that's like okay, so that's like their little retreat, I guess. Is they go there and they get away from the city, to get away from the hellish karmis in the city. They go off there. Okay. Personally, all devotees I know either got locked up and are doing time. The rest, pot growers, are still in the biz. You know, a lot of devotees. I know a lot of devotees have run-ins with the law. Um, there were definitely run-ins with the law on Watsika. The the police were down there all the time. Domestic violence, domestic abuse, domestic violence, drug overdoses, fights. Um, there's always something going on at the LA temple. Insurance fraud, drug dealers, pimps, literally. Yeah, and scammers, insurance fraud, scammers. Um, guys always like, hey, you want to buy this, you want to buy that. I remember this guy was trying to sell water filters once, going around everybody trying to sell water filters. Then he came back, he had another scam. He was trying to sell, like you were saying, like some kind of legal advice. It was like legal insurance. And this was a long time ago. I know they have that now, but this is back when they didn't have that. And he was trying to sell it, and it was like a scam. They all have these scams. Bhagavan Das and his group of friends are still doing the pick. 37 years old. Yeah, I know. That's like this. That's like this Bhagavan. That's like this. Uh, um, Whatever his name. I can't think of his name now. That does Brigupati, who sells the books. Guy's got to be close to 80 years old. He's walking around Santa Monica College, hustling books to little kids, to young kids. It's crazy. All kinds of crime. All kinds of crime. This Krishna cult, all kinds of crime in the Krishna cults. And then let's see what he says. I guess the last thing to say is that he came with dirty laundry and didn't wash it, just dried it. It was strange. And he too food and prayed over it outside, which some people found strange too. Yeah, see, yeah, yeah, and and he's doing that. He's doing that on purpose to show you. He's doing that on purpose to show you, like, hey, I'm this spiritual person now. It's all cosplay. I guarantee it. It's all cosplay. Everybody in this chat will agree with me. Everybody in here, the ex Hare Krishna, is going to go, yeah, that's all just a bunch of cosplay. 75-year-old lonely grandpa being old on a regular day didn't find anybody to target because his children and grandchildren have have this attitude. He he prayed before meals too, which bothered us as well. We are a Catholic family, so we are not open to this kind of thing at all. We will also be asking our priest for advice. Yeah, he's yeah, yeah, no, He's doing, he doesn't have to do all that. He doesn't have to do all that. And that's what I was saying. Like, there was nobody around there. There was nobody around him watching him or making him do all these things that he was doing. He's self-regulating. He's, in his mind, he's got to do it. One, because that's what makes him spiritual and spiritually advanced. Two, he's got to do it to show you that he's spiritually advanced and that he's not one of you anymore. He's a devotee now. He's a disciple. He's a disciple of his guru. And if his guru says he's got to pray before every meal, he's got to pray before every meal. He can't turn it off for you. He can't turn it off for you. I turned it off when I went to work. I went to American Express. I had a shaved head and a Sika, but I wasn't like, oh, vision. I wasn't doing the whole thing at lunch or during a meeting, or sometimes I would chant at my desk or something like that. But that's cosplay. I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm going to chant at my desk because I'm cosplaying as a spiritual person at work. So I'm going to sit here and I have to act spiritual. So I have to chant and I have my little picture of my guru on my desk. Otherwise, what's the point of being spiritually advanced if nobody knows I'm spiritually advanced? Ask your priest how you just, stay cool, stay mellow with it. I think this cult is going to chew him up and spit him out faster than you can say anything. At the Hare Krishna fanatic. Fake cult, learn your facts before coming on here and talking smack. Thanks for all your help and advice. We are very grateful he came to hang out, even if it was strange. It was encouraging that he seemed better at the end of the trip. We just hope it doesn't. It does sound encouraging that he did do that. It'd get worse now that he's back. Yeah, I think keep doing what you're doing. One trick you can do is place a blessed Saint Benedict medal into a jug of water and then pour out the water and give it to him to drink. Saint Benedict is known for exorcism. Hey, there you go. Maybe the priest can help you with that. Maybe the priest can bless it for you first. Expose Prabhupada and his goddamn cult. So yeah, you can see how this cult is still harming families like Paz. This guy he had a career. He was a software engineer, and he just got a book. He just got one of these pedophile books. He got one of these books full of racism, sexism, pedophilia, talking about all this crap, and he read it, and it infected his mind, and now won't even talk to his family, and they don't know what to do. This is horrible. For what? Because he's following one of these fake, fraudulent gurus like you see on the thumbnail? I fixed it for us, Mike. I didn't mean to infer things were good before he passed, so I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. Yeah, I know you didn't mean to do that. You just you got your information, you put it up there. And I recognize that, and that's what I said from the very beginning. But yeah, hey, it's great. It's a great job, man. Great job. Don't fight him right now. He got brainwashed really well. He will cut you off if you speak your opinions. Yeah, the only thing I have to say is that he's pretty much cut him off already. I mean, I would speak personally. I would speak. I would say what you want to say. Your family, you should be able to say what you want to say.
and I would, I just be gentle, but I would say what you want to say. I would say, hey, there's no demon head eating the moon. There's no four-headed guy growing out of a flower. I don't know how they got. I don't know what to tell you. And I would talk about some of the racist things that Prabhupada says. I would talk about some of the sexist things that Prabhupada says. Say, how do you reconcile that? How do you live with that? The things that he says about Negroes, the things he says about women, the pedophilia, the 11-year-old wife. I just read, someone mentioned this, and I just read this. Let me see if I can find it, because this is interesting. I just read this, and it's uh, it's about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it says here that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, um, that when he was 12 years old, he was married to a 5-year old. I don't know how that works. Um, yeah, it says here, in 1850, when Kedarnath was 12, in accordance with the upper class Hindu customs, Jagat Mohini married him to a 5-year-old Shamani Mitra of Ranagat, hoping to sever Kedarnath's connection with the ill fate of his own family and replace it with the good karma of his in-laws. So I didn't never knew that. I mean, learn something. You learn something every day. So there you go. With Bhaktivinoda Thakur was at the age of 12 was married to a 5-year-old. Um, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? So Jeff, I personally had to cut ties with family members still in the cult. They are destructive with their doctrines. Yeah, it's to each his own. You got to figure out. Like I said, he knows. Paz knows their brother better than anybody else. So uh, the way he handles it, or the way they handle it with the brother, is they're gonna know best. Like if it was my brother, I would know what I could say, what I couldn't say, and how I could say it. You know, so yeah, I think it's great that everybody's giving their advice. Yeah, because you don't want the person to get defensive and cut you off more, like walking on a tightrope the whole time. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, and that's why my friends didn't want to upset me, even though I pretty much, cut them off. Like I wasn't really hanging out with anybody. I was hanging out with Hare Krishnas. So if my friends had said something to me like, "Hey, you're an idiot for being in this Krishna cult, and there's no demon head eating the moon, and what the hell's wrong with you?" and that upset me and made me go, "Hey, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore." Well, I already wasn't really hanging out with them. So they really should have said that. What's the loss for them if they had said that? Because I wasn't hanging out with them anyway. Not like that. So and but that's a friend. That was a friend. I'm not talking about a family. My family never really said anything either. So, but again, it's everybody's different, and everybody. Some people don't like confrontation, so maybe I don't want to confront someone just because I don't want the confrontation. Yes, he is incredibly brainwashed, but it was great that it seemed like spending a few days with us brought him closer to his old self. He was even talking to the Krishna people less. Yeah, that's really tough. Early on, I started to come out of the Hare Krishna movement. I was walking a thin, sharp blade every single day. Yeah, it is like that. It's not easy. They say, like knitting cult lady was saying, um, they say, oh, it's not a cult. You can leave whenever you want. But when you're in a cult, you can't really just leave whenever you want. Sure, you can technically, but emotionally and mentally, there's always an exit cost. There's always an exit cost. You're giving up your friends, you're giving up your way of life, you're giving up a lot of things your whole belief system. Everything that you believed in. All your rituals, all your everything. You're given, it's a lot. So there is no like, oh, you can just leave any time, or you can just walk away at any time. You can just walk away at any time. No, it's not like you can just walk away at any time.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
Yeah, and that is the thing is you don't want to offend people, and you don't know how you don't know what's going to offend someone and what's not, and you don't know, like, maybe saying something offensive is what they need to hear. Like me, I needed to hear that, because that's the conclusion that I came to, and if someone would have pushed me in that direction, I would have came to it sooner. I firmly believe that. I'm not blaming anybody. But it's just the way. That's just the way life is. None of my friends or family were going to confront me and say, "Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you?" But that's what I needed, and that's why I say it here to you people out there, to all you people out there that are watching, that are Hare Krishnas. I'm saying it to you. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's no demon head eating the moon. There's no four-headed guy growing out of a flower, growing out of the stomach of a four-armed guy that's laying on a snake. That's really his brother. That's perspiring universes out of his body. That's ain't happening. You gotta get a grip. You gotta get a grip. I know it sounds great. It's just fun and flowers and incense and chingy ching and all that stuff, but you gotta get a grip. I'm so glad you got out. I would like to hear stories of people that got out so that I can understand what it takes. Yeah, everybody's different. But definitely people can share their stories on what got them out, like what it was. Usually it's like little cracks form, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then boom, you're done. It's a farm work camp, basically. Yeah. Like that's a lot of fun, right? Like that's a lot of fun. I'm gonna go to a farm. Like that's farm. Anything to keep from getting a regular job. You couldn't just go get a job. No, I'm gonna go work on a farm. Freaking insane. They love MLMs. Yeah, they do. You know, they love these scams. Hare Krishnas are just cosplay. It is total cosplay. So I wanted to show you, what do I got here? I wanted to show you. Okay, so I wanted to show this because this was something I've been looking for. I mentioned it a couple times on a couple, and I never found the quote. and I found the quote, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. And because Prabhupada was a cult leader, Prabhupada was a typical cult leader. People were talking about Jonestown the other day, and I said Hare Krishna is Jonestown. If Prabhupada told his disciples to commit suicide, they would have drank the Kool-Aid and done the same thing, just like this guy. So here's a quote that Prabhupada said, and I got it off of this webpage. This webpage is the Hare Krishna Cult Exposed, and this is Gopal Krishna's wife. She was an early disciple of Prabhupada, and she was abused by her husband, who went on to become a Swami, a big Swami leader. So this is what she says here. And again, this is one of these quotes that Prabhupada says that a lot of people don't know about. They don't know about this quote. But he says here, this is what she says. Cult leaders of every description use scare tactics to keep the fanaticism of their followers at fever pitch. A favorite rabble-rousing technique involves demonizing non-believers and spinning fantasies about their destruction. No matter how ridiculous, any incitement to deadly violence might be taken literally by one or more of these already delusional followers. And I've been saying that since I first started doing these videos, that these freaks are so crazy and mentally ill and insane that you can't dismiss their craziness as anything other than being it's crazy and dangerous. They're just as dangerous as they are crazy. So that's what she's saying here. She's saying, no matter how ridiculous, any incitement to deadly violence might be taken literally by one or more of these already delusional followers. Our beloved Guru, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, was no exception to this practice. Here is a prime example consisting of a transcription of a morning walk recorded in Vrindavan, India, on March 15th, 1974. And he says, and I'll show you again. Here's the quote right here. So he says, like any good cult leader, he says, and this is Prabhupada, quote, practically speaking, Vaishnavas are killers. It is not that because Muhammad used a sword, we also must use a sword. No, we can use a gun. We will ask, you like Krishna? No? Boom. You like Krishna? No? Boom. We can use everything for Krishna. We can use the atom bomb for Krishna. We have to kill this civilization of mudhas, fools. Those who are mudhas, we have to kill them. This is our business. Kill all the mudhas, not now, but later when we are more powerful. Unquote. So that was the quote I've been looking for a while, and she has it right here because she saw the importance and the significance of this quote, just like I did. Because when I read this quote years ago, when I first found this quote, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Again, Prabhupada he's using plain English. He knows what he's saying. He's explaining it very clearly, so there's no confusion. You can't say, well, you're taking it out of context, or Prabhupada didn't mean what you think he meant. You can't do that with Prabhupada because he very clearly states what he means, and he says it. He says what he means what he says. There's no confusion in anything that he says, except when he contradicts himself about gurus and things like that. Then, but he's saying here, practically speaking, Vaishnavas are killers. And he's saying it's not that Muhammad used a sword. We must also use a sword. No. So he's not saying, well, we're killers of the ego, or we're killers of the false sense, or we're killers of the material, or we're killers of the material energy, or we're killers of Kali Yuga, or no, he doesn't say that at all. He says Vaishnavas are killers. It's not that Muhammad used a sword, so we must also use a sword. No, he's saying Muhammad killed people with a sword, but we don't have to use a sword to kill people. We can use a gun. And we'll just ask people, you like Krishna? No? Boom. Because he's talking about after the end of the world. He's talking about after the world has ended. And there's just a few survivors, and there's Hare Krishnas. After the atomic bombs go off, or the atomic weapons go off, and the cities are no one can live in the cities, and everybody's living on these farms, and that's where people are going to come to live, is on these farms, like Jonestown. And if you don't love Krishna and you don't worship Krishna, then we'll just kill them. That's what he's talking about. And if we have the atom bomb, we'll just blow them up. We can use the atom bomb for Krishna. Why not? Prabhupada is a crazy psychopath. When I read this, I was like, Prabhupada is a crazy friggin' psychopath. False prophets. Mike, I don't think we say Negroes anymore. We now say black people. Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm very much aware of that. But Prabhupada didn't say black people. He said Negroes. Prabhupada used the word Negroes, and this was in 1975 when nobody was using the word Negroes. Why did Prabhupada use the word Negroes? Because he was a racist. Prabhupada's famous for saying things like, we can use the Negroes, we can use the good Negroes, but we don't want the vicious Negroes from Detroit. Those Negroes, we don't want them. He said things like, the Negroes belong in the jungles. They should never have been given freedom. They should never have been given freedom. They should have been stayed as slaves, and they should not have been given civil rights. And since the Negroes have been given civil rights, they only cause disturbance. And if you build a library, the Negroes will just come for drinking. Negroes just go to the library for drinking. They don't go for reading. So these are Prabhupada quotes. And Prabhupada used the word Negroes. That's why I use the word Negro, because I want to quote Prabhupada correctly. I don't want to misspeak when I'm quoting this guy. Yeah, so I'm gonna skip some of these comments right now. I wanted to show you. Okay, so this is ISKCON Sydney, and this was just this was a couple days ago, like 2 days ago, and I wanted to bring your attention to bring your attention to this.
Vitaya Sanatrishte Kali स्वे स्वे च्युतात्मकः मनोभ्राग्वृत्तिभिर्संयैर् गुणैः संरञ्जनात्मजाः अपि गया सृष्टे स्वे स्वे च्युतात्मकः संयैर् गुणैः संरञ्जनात्मजाः. Mataji or no?
Yeah, you could clean the house, have a margarita, and
Gopitaya
you could do a lot with 4 arms. So this is let me pause this here.
Kale sve sve chuta.
Okay, so as you can see, this is ISKCON Sydney, and it says here this is His Grace or Her Grace. I think it's His Grace. That's a guy, I guess. That's a guy. At first, I thought it was a woman. I thought it was a female, and I thought it was Her Grace, but I guess it's His Grace. Toshan Krishna Prabhu with this long hair. I mean, that's long hair for Hare Krishna, but sitting on the Vyasasana with this long hair, and it's pretty long. I mean, it's
Atmakaha. Manovagriti samyair Gunai samranjayan praja.
He looks like he's about 10 years old, and he's not shaved up, but he's sitting on the Vyasasana there. He's got the flowers, and he's got this title of His Grace. So I don't know what that's all about. I mean, I don't.
Gopithaya, for the protection of Jagat Shrishte, of the Supreme Creator. Kale.
I don't know what's going on in Sydney, but that's who they have giving the lecture. That's who they have giving the lecture in Sydney. Natasha. I started to see repeated patterns within ISKCON, like the racism, taking advantage of vulnerable people. And then I finally saw all the manipulation tactics used on me repeatedly to try to control me. Yeah, you know, I'm glad you were able to see it, because it's taught for you to just take it, for you to take the control, to take the abuse, to take the sexism, the racism, to just take it. That it's coming from Krishna. All these things are Vedic. It's all coming in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, anything that they say, anything that they do, anything they accuse you of, whatever they want, however they want to control you, whatever it is they want to do, hold over you, they can find something in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says this or that. Well, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that women are less intelligent. Well, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita this and that, that the guru is this and that. Well, it says in the Bhagavad Gita that the spiritual master is coming from the. It says in the Bhagavad Gita that the material energy is very strong. It says in the Bhagavad everything's in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, verse 8, chapter whatever. Oh, Arjuna, I am the source of all material. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything is emanating from me. Oh, best of the Bhartas, the Vedas. The Vedas are emanating from me. I am the source of the Vedas. Everything coming from Krishna. Everything coming from Bhagavad Gita. All the racism, all the pedophilia, everything, all the nasty stuff, by hook or by crook. Krishna stealing butter. We can shortchange people. We can shortchange people when we're selling Krishna's books because Krishna stole butter. I got out fully after my mom passed, and I did not even know or attend her funeral as I was too busy with their bloody fucking stupid Hare Krishna festival. Because yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's just the brainwashing. The brainwashing is just amazing. It's yes, they really take advantage of people. You know, like this young person here sitting on this chair, giving this lecture with the flowers, being taken advantage of, being taught that this is spiritual advancement, this is spiritual life, cosplaying and reading these make believe stories out of these fraudulent books that aren't really what they say they are. That's all this is. Cosplaying. And pretending and reading these books, and they're going to read this one sentence, this one verse that doesn't teach you or mean it doesn't teach you or have any significance other than just being a verse in a nursery rhyme book like Old Mother Hubbard. No more significance than Old Mother Hubbard or Tom Sawyer or something. That's it. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I really am. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But just like Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn or whatever, that book can bring enjoyment to people. People can read Tom Sawyer and go, man, I love that book. I love Treasure Island. I love whatever book it is. And you can like this book too. But it doesn't mean it's taking you to some planet and putting you in a little girl's body, an 11-year-old girl's body. Where was that? There was I think it was when I was looking at Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I came across one of these God-men who said that he was meditating on his form. He was meditating on his form of his form as the maidservant of Radharani's maidservant, and then gave the name something Manjari. And I was like, there it is. There's the proof. It was, I think it was Krishna Das, because it was going back to like the early 1800s, and it was, I can't find it now, but he mentioned that this guru, whoever it was, Krishna Das Kaviraj or somebody, was meditating on his form as this maidservant of Radharani, this Manjari, this 11-year-old gopi. It was like, so there's this 80-year-old man who is meditating on his original form so he can go back to Godhead. And his original form that this 80-year-old man is meditating on is the form of an 11-year-old little gopi girl. So this cult goes back all the way back to the early 1800s. Like I said, where they're meditating on these little girls, becoming little girls, going to another planet and becoming a little girl that has sex with God. It's weird. That's a weird cult to be in. It's a weird cult to be in. It was a weird cult to be in 1830, and it's a weird cult to be in today, in 2025. A cult where you go back to God, you become an 11-year-old girl and you have sex with God. And so let me see. I wanted to run this a little bit of this. This is about God-men, saints, and miracles. He goes through so many of them, but I just wanted to show a little bit of this here.
Language, at least for now. If the Catholic Church is so persistent, I may be forced to study Finnish because I may have to remain here longer. As you know, much more harder than one perceives from here. This is one of the first non-holy men who was coming to Europe and winning a lot of people, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And he had lot of followers in the West. That included some of the Beatles. And that gave him enormous credential. As you know, the Indian holy men take very much they are proud about their Western following. And most of their money is coming from the Western devotees. And it's the West that's feeding the Indian holy men who are successful. And Mahesh Yogi has been teaching how to levitate and to fly. And this is the photograph which they have published many times. This kind of photographs are available everywhere. And a lot of people have joined him and really claimed that
So this guy goes through
expectation that they would be able to fly up.
so
Why did they
many
fly?
so many of these
To bring
yogis
global-
and gurus. He's got
Full of
like
milk is fed to it. The two particles of milk touch together. It becomes one unit and a siphoning starts. And another simple principle which is known as psychomotor movement, like without we noticing, when somebody drinks milk, we would move our hand. If a child is drinking milk, we bend the hand like this without noticing. The moment we imagine that the statue is drinking milk, one bends the hand. So it moves and it simply.
So as we know, so Prabhupada used to talk shit about all these yogis and these gurus, and he used to say, "Oh, these guys are fake and phony. They do some magic or some trickery, and then they get some money." And he would put them down for that. Meanwhile, Prabhupada has all his guys going out and selling these books and bringing in money, selling his books full of this bullshit, mistranslations, books full of racism and sexism and pedophilia, and saying women like to be raped and women, child marriage, little girls need to be married by 13, 14 years old to grown men. He's putting these guys down. These guys are scammers in their own right. But he's putting them down like he's not scamming either. telling these guys, telling people like Prabhupada to go out and push a shopping cart around Costco parking lot, selling his books. That's your spiritual mission in life, is to go sell these stupid books. Not feed the poor or any other kind of charitable thing. It's, go sell these books. Feeding the poor or distributing food is just a mechanism to sell more books. We used to go downtown. I went downtown with the devotees to feed people with the prasadam. It was just leftover prasadam from the Sunday feast. It was leftover prasadam from the Sunday feast. Not that it was bad. It was good. There was nothing wrong with it. But it was leftover prasadam from the Sunday feast. And we took it downtown and we passed it out. But the only reason we were doing that was to distribute books. So we just hand out these disgusting pieces of shit books. That was the only reason we were taking prasadam downtown, to distribute prasadam. It was all about selling books. It had nothing to do with the food. Many good people have left and had problems in my location. Since I've left, I've connected with them, more real people outside of ISKCON. Yeah, when people leave ISKCON, it's like they just kind of just disappear. And, like me, like a lot of us. And we just kind of just went back into the material world to get our lives back. I want my life back. That's what I did. I wanted my life back. Vaishnavas are killers. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that something? ISKCON have murdered more people than is easily findable online. Yeah, there's been casualties, a lot of casualties. I'm so sorry. It's the same story with everyone who leaves this destructive cult. Mike's been a huge support towards healing and voicing our truth. We will no longer stay quiet. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you feel that way. Because you guys are supportive for me too. Because I'm traumatized just like you guys. I'm traumatized just like everybody else. So it's great. It's great for me too. Yeah, we've all become a great group here. We're all a great group, and it's great, and we're glad that you're here too. So yeah, it's really great. I wanted to show you. So Rafael. Oh, let me show you these photos of Rafael. He sent some photos, so I wanted to share them with you guys because I want to see Rafael when he was in the Hare Krishna. So here's a picture of Indrayumna Swami and Rafael there. He was his servant, his assistant for some years. And so that's a picture. It says Orissa, India, in 96. And then let's see. So this is summer of 96. There's Indrayumna Swami. Indrayumna Swami and Rafael there again. And of course, you can see Indrayumna Swami always travels with a lot of women. So even though he's a sannyasi and he's not supposed to have women around, Indrayumna Swami was always travel. He always still does. Always travels with an entourage of ladies with him. So that's Rafael, and I want to thank him for sharing these photos with us, so we can get to know each other. We can get to know each other. I know you've seen pictures of me, so you know what I look like. ISKCON Sydney, damn, I've been there. ISKCON Sydney, yeah, and you notice that they have a Srimad Bhagavatam class, and there's like 4 people in there. There's like 4 people in the class. So there's this cult, which is like it's a Krishna cult. I don't know. I'm not. It's this Swami Anuruddha, and it's I guess the Bhakti Marga group or something. I'm not sure, but let's take a look at this. This is. I'm not aware of these guys. This is the first time I've seen these guys a video like this.
Probably with a blogger.
Okay, go there.
Late, but still here.
We have time.
We're ready to leave. We did our check-in of our bags, and we met a really nice lady. She saw us, greeted with Hare Krishna, and when we asked some question if it's a problem that the luggage just might be a bit overweight, she said, "No, if you have Krishna, you don't need to worry. I saw many miracles, so you don't need to worry, right?"
Yeah,
And
many miracles.
no worries. We got our luggage checked in, even got an emergency exit. She was really sweet, it was really nice. Krishna's taking care, Guruji is taking care, so we have a nice trip. Hare.
Upon arrival, Aditya had already organized some different programs. One was on an Indian TV station in New Jersey, just a few hours away, but we encountered a storm.
He's going to be here, as you said earlier, he will be in New York City. So tell me, like...
The next day, we went to the airport to receive Guruji, who arrives from Germany.
They're coming, they're coming. They're coming.
The rest of the devotees waited to receive him at the temple.
Okay. So this is this Swami Anuruddha. Well, the guru is Swami Vishwananda. If anybody's familiar with this Vishwananda, but in case you are, or if you're curious about him, so this is the guy that was at the airport where they said we're going to go see Guruji at the airport. Okay, so that's this guy. That's this guy here. Let me see. So this is this Vishwananda. He was born Mahadeo Singh Komalram in 1978. And he's known as Paramahamsa Sri Swami Vishwananda. This guy. Okay, so it says here. Yeah, okay, so it says he is the founder of Bhakti Marga, a neo-Hindu organization that has ashrams and temples in many countries. His main ashram is the small village of Springen in the Taunus, and teaches his own version of Kriya Yoga called Atma Kriya Yoga. By the end of 2022, Bhakti Marga had around 10,000 followers and between 30 and 50 ashrams worldwide. By the end of 2023, Vishwananda had around 50,000 followers. The organization maintains a presence in 82 countries with 17 ashrams, 68 temples and centers, and 220 local sanghas, which include 450 initiated male and female brahmacharis, as well as 50 male and female swamis and rishis. All of them have taken a vow to renounce all material things, to follow the principle of nonviolence, and to concentrate fully on the divine. The order is rooted in the cultural tradition of India and sees itself as an offshoot of Sanatana Dharma in eternal religion. So this guy, this Vishwananda, was born in June 13th, 1978, into a Hindu Brahmin family in Mauritius. So here's where he becomes he's a God man, of course. So this is so typical. According to reports from family members, Vishwananda had a special spiritual inclination already in his childhood and youth. Instead of playing, he preferred prayer and visits to holy places. Supposedly at the age of 5, he had an apparition while he was in the hospital of Mahavatar Babaji, whom he recognized as his personal guru. So when he was 5, he had a vision of this Mahavatar Babaji, who's like this guru, and so he became a disciple of this guru who had passed away, that he had like this vision when he was 5. And then he entered samadhi for the first time at the age of 14, where that's when he had total union with God at the age of 14. Now, what's amazing is that these God guys, these guys always have the same story. It's the same story. They're a little kid and they have something, even like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know, he went out as a little kid with the snake and the thief, and they have this mystical thing at this young 5 years old or 4, 3 as a baby. Krishna too, right? Krishna, all the demons, he stole the butter, they put him under the demon cart. It's always, Prabhupada was 5, he had the Rath Yatra when he was 5 years old. You know, it's always these God men, they always doing something when they're from birth. They're God man from birth. So he entered samadhi for the first time at the age of 14. So at the age of 14, he's already in union with the Lord. He's already God man at 14. He's the God boy. Not even a God man yet. He's just a God boy. After finishing his secondary education, he became a spiritual master at the age of 19 and made his first journey to Europe. Where did he get the money to go to Europe? He renounced everything except that trip to Europe, I guess. Since 1998, he was invited to Switzerland and England, and later to Germany, Poland, South Africa, Portugal. Oh yeah, he's just really traveling. Where Bhakti Marga now has smaller centers. Just another God man cult leader. That's all he is. Another God man cult leader. Since 2005, Vishwananda has been traveling across the globe, sharing his vision of meditation, which embraces the belief that all religions follow a unifying path rooted in love and spirituality. Well, that's unique. Wow. That's different. He believes he believes that all religions follow a unifying path. Wow, that's how revolutionary. Whew. Wow, I'm so surprised. This is so fucking stupid. In September 2015, he was granted the title Mahamandalashwar. Mahamandalashwar. For what? I don't know. It doesn't say. On July 11, 2015, a peace pole and a certificate was conveyed to Swami Vishwananda for his outstanding accomplishments for world peace over the last 20 years. What did he do that brought world peace? What war did he stop? What refugee camp did he liberate? What did he do to bring about world peace other than scam a bunch of followers and open a bunch of temples so he could scam even more people? Hey, the more offices you have, the more money you can scam. He's got 50 ashrams. That's like saying I have 50 boiler rooms. I have 50 boiler room call centers. Yeah, I'm raking in the cash. I have 50 boiler rooms. This guy's got, how many temples did they say he's got? The organization maintains a presence in 82 countries with 17 ashrams, 68 temple centers, and 220 local sanghas. Yeah, the guy's raking in cash. Each one of those 68 temples, 17 ashrams, and 220 local sanghas counts for a column in the ledger books. How much money's coming in? If you don't think they're keeping track of how much money's coming in, you're out of your mind. Every friggin' temple calculates how many books are sold, how many plates of food are sold, how much money's coming in. Self-proclaimed guru. At the age of 5, he sees a ghost or something. He says he's my guru. Guy's no different than any of these other guys. Let's look at another one of these guys. One that we all know. Jayapataka Swami. See what it says about him. Jayapataka Swami. Let's see. Jayapataka Swami, born April 9, 1949, is a Vaishnava Swami and a religious leader for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He is a senior disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 2004, he was one of the initiating spiritual masters, a member of the governing body commission, and a divisional trustee for the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. He is one of the senior-most sannyasis in the Hare Krishna movement. Honorifics: His Holiness Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru Dev. So you're gonna go, wow, right? You right there. You got to go, wow, this guy, wow, he's a senior disciple. He's a religious leader. He's a senior disciple. He's one of the initiating spiritual masters. He's a member of the governing body commission. He's a divisional trustee for the book trust. He's a senior-most sannyasi in the Hare Krishna movement. Holy shit. His Holiness Maharaj, Guru Dev. Wow, he must have really done something to get all those names and to have all that, right? Let's see what he's done. Early years. Jayapataka Swami was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin as Gordon John Erdman II to Gordon John Erdman I and Lorraine Erdman. He attended St. John's Northwestern Military Academy and Brown University. There, as a fresh enrollee, he was influenced by a guest lecture on the life of Buddha that he lost all interest in his studies and began searching for a spiritual teacher. Well, who hasn't done that? I mean, a lot of people have done that. A lot of people went to college, heard a lecture on Buddha, and went, "Oh shit, there's a spiritual side of life I never knew before. Let me get into Buddha and find me a spiritual teacher." Like half of every person that's ever gone to college has done that, probably. I mean, is that really so amazing? After some time of searching, he concluded he would have to go to India to find his teacher. Really? Is that what did he really do that? You want me to believe that? As much as you guys lie about everything, you want me to believe that? I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. Before leaving for India, Gordon came across some Hare Krishna devotees doing kirtan and distributing Back to Godhead magazine. Oh my God. Shortly after, he visited the San Francisco ISKCON Center because he was a hippie. They don't say he was a hippie, right? So he went to Northwestern Military Academy, Brown University. He got influenced in Buddha, lost all interest in his studies, and went searching for a spiritual teacher, probably with a joint in his mouth. He ended up in San Francisco. So now he goes from being in a military academy to being a hippie because he wants to find a guru and he wants to go to India and find a guru. So it doesn't sound like a hippie to me in 1960 whatever 7. Before leaving, so he ends up meeting the Hare Krishna devotees, gets him Back to Godhead magazine. He goes to the San Francisco ISKCON Center where he meets Jayananda and introduced him to the Rath Yatra festival. His first service in ISKCON was to help build the Rath Yatra cart. Well, so what? I helped build a Rath Yatra cart. You don't see me with a Wikipedia page. From there, he traveled to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where he met Prabhupada. John took first initiation in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and was given the name Jayapataka Das. Soon after, he was awarded second initiation in New York. Soon after. While in Montreal, Jayapataka Das was engaged in the service of what? Printing books and dispatching them to other ISKCON temples around the world. Later, on the instruction of Prabhupada, Jayapataka went to Toronto to open a temple there. When Jayapataka Das took over the Toronto Center as president, he wrote to Srila Prabhupada inquiring about his service and was told by him to go to India. That's it. That's it. That's it. While in Montreal, Jayapataka Das was engaged in the service of printing books and dispatching them to other ISKCON temples around the world. Later, on the instructions of Prabhupada, Jayapataka went to Toronto to open a temple there. When Jayapataka Das took over the Toronto Center as president, he wrote to Srila Prabhupada inquiring about his service and was told by him to go to India. End of story. So what did this guy do? That's it? And you want me to call him His Holiness Maharaj, Guru Maharaj? For what? His Holiness for what? What did he do? What did he do? Guy hasn't done shit. Except get fat. All he did was get fat while kids were getting molested and abused and raped and tortured and starved. This guy's getting fat. Guy's like 400 pounds. 300 pounds, 400 pounds. Fat fuck. Look at this fat fucking bastard. Fat bastard. What's he ever done except protect pedophiles? He's one of the biggest pedophile protector there is. He's been protecting pedophiles from the very beginning. That's why he's His Holiness. That's why he's Guru Dev and Guru Maharaj and Jayapataka Acharya Pod, and because he's been protecting these pieces of shit from day one, and he is a piece of shit. He was. It says right here in the beginning, right in the beginning. Religious leader for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He's a senior disciple of Prabhupada. In 2004, he's one of the initiating spiritual masters, a member of the governing body commission, a divisional trustee for the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. He's one of the most senior sannyasis in the Hare Krishna movement. He was there when all the kids were getting molested and abused and raped. And he was protecting, he protects all these abusers. Lokanath and Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami and all of them. He's the one who lets them back in. He's one of the leaders. How come he doesn't stand up and go, hey, you guys can't, you pedophiles can't be in here? We're not letting Bhakti Vidyapurna Swami back. He's an abuser. He abused all those kids. No, because he's the one. He was the one who was in charge. He's the one that's on the GBC. He's the spiritual master. How come he doesn't stand up and go, why are we letting this, why is this? He's letting them back in. He's the one that's letting them back in. He's the one who's saying, yeah, he can come back in. Why isn't he standing up and going, why are we letting this pedophile back in? He's a spiritual leader of this movement. He's a guru, and he can't stand up and go, hey, why are we letting this pedophile back in the movement? Man, you gotta wake up, man. All you people out there, you guys gotta wake up. This is not rocket science. This is not hard. This is not reading a blueprint and building a friggin' skyscraper. This is not something that this is easy shit. It doesn't take Columbo or Jim Rockford or any of these Perry Mason or any of these friggin' Sherlock Holmes. No, this is simple, easy shit. This guy is in charge. This fat fuck is in charge. And he can't stop the predator from coming back? From coming back. What the fuck's he do? What the fuck's he do all day? Except eat. Obviously, he hasn't lost the ability to eat. He can't talk, but he can fucking shove food in his face. He can do that. Fucking disgusting pieces of shit, man. This guy is fucking disgusting. Who the fuck is he? Seriously, who the fuck is he? He's a holy man. He ain't no holier than the other joker I just read about. They're just the same guy. Both scammers. Both pretending to be fucking God. Worship me like I'm God. Why should I worship you like you're God? You think you're God? You think you're as good as God? Worship you as if you're God? Because you cosplay? Because you friggin' cosplay? Guy can't even stand up and go, why are we letting a fucking predator back in the fucking movement? How fucking hard is that? Evidently it's hard. Child abuse, child sexual abuse, and pedophilia is so fucking rampant that people don't even understand how rampant it is. In the government, in friggin' everything. Spiritual movements, churches. Otherwise, people would say, hey, release the files. No, I don't want to release the files. People will freak out. These guys don't want to kick out the predators and the pedophiles. It's so rampant. They're like, hey, we kick out one, we got to kick them all out. We kick them all out, it could be nobody left. Because the whole fucking movement is nothing but fucking pedophiles, predators, and books on how to become a predator. Fucking disgusting. And this poor guy's brother is stuck in this cult. He's stuck in there. He doesn't know. They don't know how to get him out. All you people out there. This guy's brother is in there. They don't know what to do. It could be you. It could be your family. They don't mean any harm to their to their family member. They just want him back. They just want him back. He had a career. He was a software engineer. Just gave everything up for this stupid fucking for some fat fuck like this. Throwing his life away. Throwing his life away because some fat fuck like this told him. Got him brainwashed. Got him brainwashed now. The books are just full of subtle or covert manipulation. So you excuse the child abuse and pedophilia and fall downs of the gurus. Absolutely, right. The books is grooming. It grooms women to be abused. It grooms children. It grooms men into being abusive, and women into being subservient and abused. And everything's karma. So if you get smacked around a little bit, you deserved it because that's your karma. I'm fucking sick. That is fucking sick it's sick manipulation. And if you're not subservient and just get smacked around and take it, then you're not advancing spiritually. That's sinister. It's like that doctor was saying. It's like spiritual blackmail. It's emotional blackmail. It's violence. It's violence against your mind. You know, it's like taking someone twisting your arm behind your back to make you do something, you know, and it hurts. It's like, but it's like taking your brain and doing that with your brain. Twisting your brain until you go, okay. And you got people brainwashed. Literally, their brain is so friggin', it's like their arm is twisted. Their brain is twisted. This guy is he's out with his family. He's got to text and call the Krishna people all the time. He said that last time he came on the show. He was saying that. Like Thanksgiving or something. He's like, hey, yeah, he came back for Christmas, but every time he had to, contact them and let them know is, well, why? Is he so fragile that is Hare Krishna so fragile that they think that if they don't keep him, like what is that? And he's got to stay connected. I got to stay connected. They got to stay connected. Like this tethered together. When you're not with us, we're going to keep you tethered by the phone. You got to text me every 5 minutes. Let us know. We're going to text you every 5 minutes. Let you know. Why? I thought the holy name was like, burned up karma, and it was so strong. It was this and that. Scientific. It's scientific. It's this and that. It's all a bunch of bullshit. If it was even a fraction of it was true, they wouldn't need to call this guy every 10 minutes. He wouldn't look all disheveled or whatever. He'd have clean clothes on. It sounds like his family is more upset with the way he looks when they saw him than him being in the cult. Like, it's weird. Prabhupada was so bona fide. He was the worst than all these gurus put together. Prabhupada was evil. Prabhupada was evil. The shit that Prabhupada says in his books is like some evil shit. It's some evil shit, man. Yes, people have been calling out his books in the West since the 70s. Yeah. And they're still out there selling them, and they're still selling them to this day, pushing shopping carts full of books around. This guy's 80 years old at the LA Temple, and he's still out there pushing shopping carts full of books around the fucking DMV parking lot, Costco parking lot, Santa Monica City College, wherever, with the same stupid pitch, with the same stupid, hey, you like John Lennon? It's the same crap. I'm embarrassed for the guy. So grateful to Mike and this amazing group. Still need to hear these truths. Yeah, we do need to hear him. We need to hear him. I need to hear him. I need to hear from you guys. I need to say what I know just so I can help other people if I can. It's important, Prabhupada was worse than Jim Jones. This cult, if the cult of cults was with the brainwashing, it's beyond invasive and destructive of every aspect of your life. Yeah, like somebody was saying in the last show I did, that if you join this cult, you'll never be the same. And I agree. You'll never be the same. Even you come out, and even if you're like unharmed, you're still harmed. You're still harmed. There's residual collateral damage that happens, and you're never the same. You're never the same. You go through the ringer, and you're just Raphael. Yeah, those pictures, man. Those pictures, we need to see those. Like we've all been through it. We've been through it. We're not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. I regret that. What can I say? I spent 20 years in it. I regret that I joined it, but I'm not ashamed to say I was in it for 20 years and I got out. And you can get out too. You can get out too. We all of us got out in our own way. Everybody's different, but you can get out too. And you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel ashamed. You don't have to feel like, because there was a time when I felt like, man, how do I face my old friends that I haven't seen in a long time, because the last time they heard from me, I was in the Hare Krishnas, and now I'm not in the Hare Krishnas anymore. But you know what? Once I got out, I didn't care. I don't. It's more important to be out than to be in, and like not wanting to be in, but being in because I don't know what's going to happen if I leave. Fuck that. You just leave. Where's my walk away? You just walk away. You gotta just do it.
Just walk away. Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the Hara. Just walk away.
Bhakti Marg cosplay. Yeah, it's when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, look at that. That's look at that. It took for me to be discriminated for being a woman to leave this cult. They put men in a pedestal. I wanted to do service there, but they excluded me and came up with excuses so I wouldn't walk around there. Yeah, it is. And sometimes it takes something like that to kind of like force your eyes open and to see. Like for me, there was a time, I'll tell you, there was a time where it was me and it was Yashodanandan. It was Yashodanandan Swami and my roommate Vadiraj and a few other devotees. I don't remember their names now. I think probably Narayan, and there was some other devotees. And we went to these people's house. It was on Watsika, and they were Christians, and they were Indians. They were Indians, but they were Christians. And they were like born-again Christians or something, evangelical Christians, something. And they invited us over. They knew somebody. They were friends with somebody. So they invited us over. So we all went over like as a group. And it was Yashodanandan and me and Vadiraj and like maybe 3 or 4 other devotees. We went over to their house. And we're having prasadam. And these people were really nice. And we're all dressed like Hare Krishnas. We're all doing we're having like a little Krishna thing. So we're chanting, we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, and we're having prasadam in these people's house. And they're Christian. They're like born-again Christians or whatever. It's like a husband and a wife and then some other people. So we're sitting there and we're having prasadam and we're eating. We already had our program. We did everything. We're sitting, we're eating, and now everyone's talking. And so the Christian guy is talking to Vadiraj about Krishna and Jesus and eating meat or whatever they're talking about. And for you Hare Krishnas out there, all of you ex-Hare Krishnas, you know this conversation. It's the basic conversation. So they're going at it, and it gets heated. And it gets really heated up. And Vadiraj and these other devotees are getting really kind of rude. They're getting rude. And they're getting rude, and they're just like, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I wanted to get up and leave, but I didn't want to just get up and leave because that would have been extra rude. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm not having it. And this is around the same time when my wife passed away, and we had the thing with my wife passing away. So I'm already like really agitated with these guys, with Yashoda and Vadiraj and all these guys. I'm already like, Tattva Darshan thing, all this shit's going on. And they're just like arguing with these Christian guys, and they're just like fighting. It's almost to the point where they're fighting. And I looked over at Yashodanandan because I wanted him, because he's like the Swami, he's like the head guy. I wanted him to take control of this program, what was going on. I wanted him to squash it, just end it, because it's not pretty. This is ugly. This is really ugly. So I look over at him like, hey, you got to do something about this. You got to end this. And he's just like, nah. He's laughing like he's enjoying it. He was enjoying it. He was enjoying the whole thing. And I was disgusted. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to be part of the group. I wanted to just disappear. And that was like the last program I had with these guys. I didn't have any type of, after that, I didn't want anything to do with preaching or going to someone's house or having any kind of program like that, because it got ugly. It just got really ugly, and we were in someone else's house. And I just said, you know what? Fuck these Krishna people. This isn't how you act. This isn't spiritual life. This isn't anything. I think that's when I realized it was this cosplay. It's like we're just all dressed up here with this stuff, and nobody's acting no one's being spiritual. Nobody's being anything. You guys are being a bunch of assholes. That's what I was thinking. To the people that were arguing, I was like, you guys are being a bunch of assholes. You're in this guy's house, and you're acting like this, and you're supposed to be these devotee, Hare Krishna devotees, and you're acting like this. And then I look over at Yashoda, and he's right along with them. No self-awareness or no shame or no kind of I don't know what it was. I don't know what I was feeling. I was feeling something like this is and that was an important moment in my getting the fuck out of there. I mean, I hadn't got to all the criminality and the pedophilia and all of that shit yet, but that was really a big crack that made me just say, fuck these people, man. These are not the people I want to hang around with when they're acting like that. My birthday is June 13th. So you share a birthday with you share a birthday with the guru. So, what did he say? Jayapatak had too much Mahaprasadam and darshan of Krishna. Yeah, he did. They did. These guys are all living, and that's the other criminal thing. These guys are all living high on the hog. Prasadam and food. Look at this guy's fat from all the food he's eating. He weighs 400 pounds. Meanwhile, the kids are being starved and molested and abused. And these guys are all flying around the world and guru paloozing and eating and just, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. So before I go, we're gonna spin the wheel because I know that's one of the favorite things we do here. One of the favorite things we do here. I had no idea it was gonna become so popular to spin the wheel of idiot and see where it lands. but it has, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna spin the wheel. What does Howard Johnson say? Narayan Maharaj hated Jayapataka because he banned him from all ISKCON temples. He even said he became a vegetable because of the offenses made unto him. Yeah, you would think, like that guy said, like you get all these holy men, all these God-men and holy men around, and you think that they would be having these great discussions about God and life and death and the meaning of life and all of these things, but no. They're banning each other. You can't come to my temple. You can't come here. You can't go there. Ritviks are wrong. This guru's wrong. Guru's getting banned for being a child molester, and guru's devotees going to jail for murder and going to jail for inappropriate behavior with an underage girl in Cambodia. And guy goes to jail in Cambodia. Next thing you know, he's giving a lecture in Bangalore at the temple in Bangalore. How does that make sense? How does a guy go to jail in Cambodia for, they catch him with an underage girl? He goes to jail in Cambodia, and then he gets out of jail, and now he's giving lectures at the ISKCON temple in India. What's he lecturing about? You got to be out of your mind, man. And the guy who shot the guy in the head, he's sitting in jail. They made him a Swami. He's a Swami. How do you make him a Swami? How does the guy that pulled the trigger and murdered the devotee, how does he become a Swami? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. All right, back to the wheel. Back to spinning the wheel. We gotta spin this wheel. The wheel of idiot. And if you have a favorite idiot, you want to have your favorite idiot's name put on the wheel, you just let me know. We'll add them to the wheel, and we'll give it a spin, and we'll see if the wheel lands on your favorite idiot. So right now we're going to give this wheel a spin and see what happens. Let's see. And we got our theme song here. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I think he came up last time. We did him last time, so let's remove his name, Prabhupada Vishnu, and let's give it another spin. Give it a go. Let's see what happens. Hey, it's our old friend. It's our old friend Dickie Slavin. Dickie Slavin. Let's see if we can find this guy. This guy is no problem to find old
message I'm supposed to present. How many of you have experience of trying to manage your mind?
He's got a PowerPoint.
How many have the experience of your mind managing you? It's interesting because in Sanskrit, the ancient language of the Indian scriptures, the word for mind is man. So to manage the mind. The Bhagavad Gita tells Bandhur Atmatmanastasya that for one who learns to control the mind is one's best friend. But for one who fails to do so, the very mind becomes the worst enemy.
How many times are we going to hear that fucking analogy or that fucking cliche? Like, I don't need to hear that cliche. I don't need to hear that cliche. And hearing it from this fuck doesn't make it any more important or any less important. And the way he talks in his whole trance talk, talking slow, soft, emphasizing each word individually with that stupid smile. Shake my head a little bit for emphasis. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling me one bit. He's fooling all those people sitting there thinking he's some holy man. What's holy about him? What has he done? What has he done except cheat people? That makes him holy.
So are we living with our best friend or our enemy?
So are we living with our best friend or our enemy? It sounds deep when you say it like that. Like if you want to sound like fucking idiot.
We have free will to make that choice. Just as
he hasn't said anything. He said a cliche, which is your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And then he said, and we have the choice. We can make that choice. So what? Okay. You haven't said anything. You haven't said anything profound.
My beloved Guru Srila Prabhupada would use an analogy that when you see through green-colored glasses, everything looks green. And if you see the same sight through yellow-colored glasses, it looks yellow. And if it's blue-colored glasses, it looks blue. And if it's clear glasses, you see it for its actual color. So similarly, we are seeing through the mind.
So similarly, we're seeing through the mind. No, it's not. The mind is not similar to looking through glasses. I don't care how you say it, how you emphasize it, how you shake your bald, stupid head. You're not saying anything profound. Prabhupada didn't say anything profound. You're not saying anything profound. You're just a scammer. You're just a fucking stupid-ass scammer who thinks there's a demon head eating the moon. I don't even think you're that stupid. I think you know better than there's a demon head eating the moon. I think you know better than to say that there's a demon head eating the moon. In fact, I don't think you believe all this crap that you're saying. I don't think you believe any of this bullshit. I think you know that it's a bunch of bullshit. I think you know that you're cosplaying. And I think you're just the biggest fucking scammer there is. That's what I think. You ain't got me fooled. Because I know better. You have all these people fooled. All these people sitting there listening to you babble on.
Not just through the eyes. Because even people with the same type of eyes and the same vision, what we see in the world is so different. In my 65 years, I don't think I've ever met anyone who sees anything the same way.
What the fuck is he? he's supposed to be profound. Is he supposed to be profound? Is he saying something profound?
Because everyone has a very unique state of mind. And we can give some general psychological categories to the way people think. But still, everyone is so personal and unique.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I can't take their crap. I can't take their bullshit. I can't take his bullshit. I just can't. The fuck is he saying? I keep waiting for him to say something. And the way he talks and that fucking trance talk. Say something. Let me give him one more try. One more try.
According to the experiences that we've had, the education we've had, according to what we identify with and who we identify with, it all very much colors the way we see everything in the world.
I see him as a big fucking scam. A big fraud, a big scam, a faker, a cosplayer, and a criminal. That's what I see. It's criminal. To manipulate people into giving you money so you can sit there and talk and bullshit like that. If it's not a crime, it should be. It should be a crime. All the money that he's ripped off people, all the donations that he's taken, pretending to be a fucking holy man, and he sits there and babbles on about bullshit. You can explain that cliche about whatever the fuck, and rose-colored glasses, and one cliche explains another cliche, explains another cliche. These people sit there and they're like, oh my God, did you hear that lecture that he said? He was talking about the color of glasses and how the mind is just like glasses and we see things differently because we're all different. You come out of this cult and you listen to these lectures and you go, what the fuck is this bullshit?
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm sorry. It's all such bullshit. You got that right. It's all just a bunch of bullshit. He's such a phony. Dickie Slavin. His Holiness Radhanath Swami. The fuck is holy about him? Being Kirtananda's right-hand man when Kirtananda was having people murdered and molesting little boys? That makes him holy? That makes this fucker holy? The fuck is holy about him? The piece of shit. It's called karma drama, Mom. They look down on you for not accepting their behavior as your karma. Yeah. Yeah. It was my daughter's karma. It was her karma. It's so true. It's like twisting your brain. It's like twisting. It's just. Narayan Maharaj was another huge con artist who ruined lives with his direct teachings. He claimed he was a Manjari personal maidservant of the blue man polygamist Krishna. Yeah, and so Narayan Maharaj, he's got a successor. There's somebody who's who's the head of, who took over for Narayan Maharaj. I don't know. I don't remember his name. It's so creepy how they think they can instruct women too. Yeah, it's creepy when they sit there and they're going to talk about, marriage in Krishna consciousness. And some Swami is talking. Some Swami who doesn't know nothing about marriage. He's taking a vow to never, to hate women, and he's going to give fucking marriage advice. He was more extreme than ISKCON's teachings, claiming he was Prabhupada's predecessor, and ISKCON was bogus. He was bogus as well. They're all bogus, And Narayan Maharaj, when I heard about him, and people were going to him, devotees were going to him, like in the early '90s. And I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? And I thought he was such a big faker, like just trying to glom on to Prabhupada's success. That's what I thought of him. And he was we need to hear truth from real people who have had real trauma from this cult. I will expose everyone who condone these crimes. The thing is, when push comes to shove, everybody's complicit with this cult, because it takes very few people are going to stand up and go, all right, I've had it with this stuff. No, hardly anybody. Like I said, even my roommate, we were both heading down the same path as far as realizing that this cult was a piece of shit and all of this crap was going on and blah 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 blah. He was right there with me. But when it came time to just leave, he's like, I'm not leaving. Like, what do you mean you're not leaving? How can you sit there and understand everything that's going wrong and everything that's bad and all this stuff, and then just be like, but I'm not leaving? How do you not leave? I couldn't understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. But that's how it is. That's how it is. Everyone's been harmed. Everyone's been harmed. And I even say this, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but this is my opinion. Even people who leave and say, I wasn't harmed or nothing happened to me, something happened. You just don't realize it yet. You've got scars that you just don't know are there. And that's what I think. That's what I think. That's how I feel. We are barely getting ourselves back to our power that was taken. Absolutely. You know what? It takes time to get. It takes time to like recharge. You come out of this cult, you're damaged. You come out of this cult damaged, and with some trauma. Everyone's got different levels of trauma. You come out of this cult damaged with trauma, and it takes time to get yourself back up to speed. I know it did for me. It did for me. Christians always win arguments to Hare Krishnas. Yeah, that was a rough one. I didn't like, it really turned me off. It really turned me off, and it made me look inside myself as far as, this is what I believe. This is how I act. This is how I act. This is how I talk. This is how I act. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the way they were preaching. I didn't like the arguments they were making. I didn't like the way they were attacking these people. These were just nice people that invited us into their house. And I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. And I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. If this is how you act, if this is how I act, if how you're acting is how I act and I don't realize it, I don't ever want to act like that. ever. Ever. I saw it as something disgusting. The way they were treating these people, the things they were saying. And it wasn't like they were being nasty and mean and swearing. It was just the arguments they were bringing, the way they were talking to them, the meat eating and the four regulative principles and that's why you have to surrender to a spiritual man and all this stuff. Just the way they put it, shoving it in these people's face, and just the way they did it, and it was nasty. It was nasty. It was really it was a shock to me, because it was like holding up a mirror, and I was seeing, because they were saying all the things that they were just using the basic preaching points that you use when you preach to people. They were just going a little hard. They were going hard, but it was all the same stuff. And when I saw it, and I was like, oh God, that's disgusting. I don't want anything to do with it. It was really bad. Sort of put, maybe our birthdays means that there is someone with a June 13th birthday supposed to save you, but it's me from this scam. Yeah, it's the synchronicity. Fake human, the saxophone. Oh my God, this bear is the biggest cosplayer, acting like he's so calm and collected, saintly personality. But when he smiles, he looks like the Joker, pure criminal. Yeah, he's so creepy. He is so creepy, this guy. He is something else, man.
He had like 100 temples. He had printed, published, and distributed hundreds of millions of books.
And I mean, you can tell the way he's talking that's not how he talks. You can tell he's putting on this show. He's laying it on so thick that it's disgusting. It's like, come on, man. I know, The beast has realized and is Krishna's side chick already. He's gone up and down the spiritual planes with the blue. All the organs, man. That bastard is a multimillionaire cosplay mafia freak responsible for destroying so many innocent lives. Yeah, you heard it. You heard it right there. You didn't even hear it from me. You heard it right there. I'm not the only one saying this stuff. I'm not the only one. I'm not making this up. I'm not some crazy old man who's just yelling at my computer. I got people in here that I don't even know, that I've never met, are saying the same thing. How crazy is that? For all you Hare Krishnas out there that have no idea, you have no idea. You got a book, you're at the temple, and next thing you know, you're chanting, you got beads, you don't know what's going on. And now you find yourself watching my video. And you're like, what is going on? We're telling you the truth. We're telling you the truth. That bastard is a multimillionaire cosplay mafia freak responsible for destroying so many innocent lives. That's not even coming from me. Well, I agree, but he's saying it. It's like, please add SB Keshava Swami to your list. He's always talking about love and marriage. Okay, I will. I'll definitely I'll definitely put Keshava Swami on there. Well, I'll add him on there. All the Swamis believe the same things. Yeah, they do. They do. They do. So if one is harming children, it's because it's in the cult doctrine too. It's a part of the network and the preachings and accept it. Yeah, and they have. So part of so part of it is the guru, like this guy, right? This guy, the guru is he's in that line of saints. He's in that line of saints. So he's directly in contact with God, right? He's in that line of pure people. So these pure people can do no wrong. And even if they do wrong, you have to forgive them because they're pure. So even if he does something wrong, even if he does something wrong like molest a child or hits a woman or do anything, has sex with a woman or anything, you have to forgive him because he's perfect. And it's you have to forgive him. If you don't forgive him, then you're making an offense. Because he's a pure devotee, he's perfect. So even if he makes a mistake, you're obligated to forgive him. You have to forgive him. So children have to worship this guy. And if he happens to be a predator or accused of molesting children, well, you have to forgive him for that. Keshava Swami has lots of personal time with women. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. We'll have to check that out. Keshava, second generation cosplay Swami. I've met him years ago in Bhaktivedanta Manor, UK, when he was young cosplayer. Yeah, Rafael's been around, so Rafael knows. Rafael's been around. He knows a lot of what's going on in this movement. Same with Scientology, right? Like it's written into their beliefs. So everyone ends up being bad. All the Swamis are doing something bad. Yeah, it's written in. So, like, that's why I say ISKCON is like a pedophile factory. It's written into their teachings that it's possible to control your mind and still touch little girls and not be affected by it. You can be a dirty old man and rub and touch little girls' body, even their private parts. You can touch them, and you can, because you're a Hare Krishna, you can control your mind. Because your mind is controlled, then that's a weird story. Anyway, that's in their books. That's a weird story, but anyway, they want to use that story as to say that even somebody, when you're really controlled and you're really at a higher level, you can even touch little girls and not be affected by it. I know it's a weird thing. So it's all written into their teachings. Yeah, absolutely, it's written into their teachings, and they have the power to abuse people. They have the power, like this Indra Yumna Swami. He could sit there and put little girls on his lap and rub and touch on them, and grown people sit there and accept it like it's normal, because he's a Swami. It's disgusting. That shit is disgusting. That shit is disgusting. He calls the women his gopis, and that right there is a sign that this guy is fucking creepy. That and no guru should be calling his women gopis. Creep. Yeah, he's pretty creepy. That's pretty creepy. That is really creepy. Yep, running. Look at that, running after that. Oh, that's funny. That's why I said I run away. Yeah, you got to run away. You got to run away from these guys, man. Personal time. Yeah, personal time. Yeah, that's what they call it. Premananda Prabhu took over Narayana Brahmachari's mind. Okay, Premananda. Yeah, I think there was a schism. I think there was somebody else was fighting over that. But okay, Premananda Prabhu took over. Processed veggies. Ugh. They'll start calling you Radha. These guys are creeps, man. I'm telling you. These guys are really creepy. He's in the line of fraudsters. Fraudsters. Yeah, these guys are too much. So hey, I want to thank everybody for watching today. I'm gonna come back with some more next time. I can't believe we've gone 3 hours. This is really good class today. I get a lot out of it. It's for me. It's therapy because it's a release. It's therapy. I get like recharged. I get this out of my system so I can get back to my life and get recharged. Because I do feel like I need to contribute something for all the people out there that are watching. I know the viewers, my viewerships is going way up now. My videos are getting a lot more views, and I know more and more people are watching and want me to do something. So I want to bring more, content and stuff that to share with you guys. And so it means a lot to me. So I want to thank everybody for joining in. And Queen of Karma, I want to thank you. You process your own spiritual trauma through this. Absolutely. And like you said, part of healing is helping others. I think that's an important thing, is helping others. And thank you. Hey man, I hope everything works out. I think this cult is going to spit him out soon enough, and he'll be done with it. And everyone have a great day. Everybody have a great day, great morning, great night, a great afternoon, wherever you are. Have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining in. This is really great. I feel like we have a little sangha now where we get together and we can have a prasadam or something. But yeah, it is important. It is important to help others. And Queen of Karma, I just want to thank you. Should make Indra Yumna. Yeah, he's really disgusting with the little girls and the kids. But yeah, Queen of Karma, thanks to you. You're doing a great job, and I want to thank you for including Krishna cults in with your cult awareness activities, and everybody. I want to thank everybody. Rafal for the photos. Everybody sending me links and clicks and views and everything. Thank you so much, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. And oh yeah, and remember, I'm backed up. All my stuff's backed up on Substack. If you can go over and subscribe to my Substack, so you can stay in touch, because I'm afraid that something might happen one day and they take my channel down. I'm serious. I'm really the views are going up so much that I really think that they might try to do like a copyright strike or do some kind of privacy thing where they might try to take my channel down. So if you want to go over to Substack, you can connect with me on Substack. And if in case someday they do take my channel down, we can connect over there at Substack. And also you can visit me on the web at itsmikesandoval.com, and you can connect with me over there. Just in case something happens. This is in case something happens over here. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night, a great morning, whatever. And here again is